Hello, and welcome to another live stream by Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John, and we are here with the Flight Sim Studios 727-100. And this ramp is very loud, so we're going to get inside where it's much quieter. All right, guys, how's everybody doing today? We are flying down to Kingston, Jamaica. I've never actually been to Norman Manley. Manly? Hopefully I'm saying that right. All right. Hey, Drunk Billy, welcome to the stream. Hello. I see you over there. You flying along? Nice. All right, so we are here, 727-100. The first rendition of the 727 came to the market in 1963. Eastern Airlines, the airline we're rocking today, beautiful bare metal livery. Who doesn't love a bare metal livery with the hockey stick stripe down the side? Classic, very classic. I think they took possession. They were the first to do a commercial flight with the 727-100. And at the time, it wasn't the 100. It didn't get the 100 designation until 727-200 came out. It was just the 727-00 at the time. So, yep, we're going to take her down. We're leaving Miami. We're going to fly down VOR to VOR, sort of. We do have one intersection point, but we're going to use the SIVA INS system today. And we are on the Say Intentions Network as well as the multiplayer USA East. And the reason we're not on VATSIM or anything like that is because we're actually going to play around with the VOR arrival into Kingston. So, and I didn't want to mess around with VATSIM and do things that I'm not, completely like really familiar with. So, and with my hard and fast rule, since I want to do that type of approach, we wouldn't do it on the network. So we do have Say Intentions for our ATC though. So maybe second best thing. But all right. So, a couple caveats here. We're going to, there we go. I'm not going to be manning this too much. We're going to actually have our automatic flight engineer handle this panel, but we can get it powered up. So battery can come on and we are hooked up to ground power. I believe we are. That. So we're going to power it up and then we're going to get a flight crew. We're going to do the flight crew thing. It's just easier to stream. Want to be a little more relaxed, talk to you guys as much as possible. And because this thing is a handful. Not going to lie. It's one of those old school type of flying that's what requires just a little more concentration. But we're going to get it all set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on, and then we're going to go to position, and we're going to get our first waypoint in. Little numbers in my old eyes. All right. Yes. All right, that's better. So there's two ways to do this. Since so you could usually look it up and see the gate coordinates, but SIVA INSs are plus or minus 5 to 10 miles. So if you just put in the Latin longitude for Miami Airport, it'll work just as fine or just as good. So Miami, we're going to put in north, 2547 7. 2547 7. and insert, and then west. 08017, and insert U. That is our position. We can now start it aligning. Check it out. Starts the countdown. And then we come up here to waypoint, so we can get our first waypoint in. And just like the LTN in the L1011, which is a similar type of navigation system, we only have 9 waypoints. And they would usually have at least 2 here. I don't know why he only models 1 though. So our first waypoint is going to be Virginia Key. It's a VOR. We're also going to tune in that VOR. So we have a kind of like a dual navigation thing going. Well, we're going to go north 25, 451. Now, I know there's a way to actually insert your waypoints from SimBrief. I don't remember how to do that, though. All right, we're going to go west 08. Zero 8 0 0 and 9 3. Doesn't look right. Eight 0 2. There we go. 3.1 is in. All right, we can actually start getting our fuel on board and passengers boarding. Load it up. Miami to Norman Manley International Airport. And let's load you up. I don't know if it's going to auto call. I guess if I had the GPS option checked, that's fine. Or the GSX option checked. Good. I actually don't really want it to do that. Okay, so that's in. Let's go to waypoint 2. Waypoint 2 is going to be our initial point to cross Cuba. Doing a modern U.S. Cuban crossing in 1968 or around about when this type of flight would have been done, they would not have been crossing Cuba. We would have flown around Cuba's airspace. But I unfortunately don't have that time today to do a real routing. So we're going to do a modern one, which cuts it probably by an hour. All right, so Ursus is going to be our intersection. And that is going to be north 2400.0.
Welcome aboard the Boeing 737 aircraft. On behalf of the captain and the entire cabin crew, we wish you a pleasant flight.
Insert you. And then we're going to go west. 079 04 2. Insert you. All right. Now, waypoint 2 is in there. We're only going to have about 5 or 6 waypoints most. All right, the next one is going to be a NDB approach into or NDB guidance into Cuba, and that is Uniform Papa Alpha. Yeah, so we'll be tuning that one as well. I think it's called Algeria NDB. We're going to go north. 222. Sir you. And then it's west. 0, 7, 8. Just a tiny run. Yeah. 07846. 07846. 078464. Enter EU. So, moving on to waypoint 4 is going to be our top of descent. Now, that's a personal preference of mine, as I put in the scheduled top of descent that's in our OFP, just so I have a reference as to when we should start going down. And you can do the math and all that stuff, but kind of gives you a better like situational awareness, and that's how I run this plane for myself. So we're going to put waypoint 4. We're going to put in our top of descent, which is going to be north 1904.7. Insert. It's going to be west 078 2.9. All right. In the waypoint 5. So waypoint 5 is going to be Sangaster. So we're going to come in from the northwest of the island of Jamaica and come across to Manly, which is on the other side of the island. So I'm going to put Sia in. We're also going to be tuning that VOR in as well. That's a north 1830.1. Zero 7755.4. And the reason why we're doing VOR to VOR, we're putting them all in here, but the reason I'm also tuning them in is also for a backup. In case I mistype any of these coordinates, I still have navigational capabilities. I mean, you can fix them on the fly, but you still want to be able to go in the right direction while you're fixing this stuff. All right, so that's it. And then we got waypoint 6. And that's going to be the Norman Manley VOR. North 17. So you. And 076467. 076. West. Clear. West. 07646.7. Insert you. All right. There we go. I think all our fuel is still fueling, but we're taking about 23,000 pounds of fuel for an hour flight. Isn't that crazy? We'll start boarding. Boarding has started. So, all right, so that's aligning. So we can actually scroll over here. That's the cabin chiming in. And we will, since we are done fueling, I'm going to get that up to manage our crew. And we're going to get the no smoking signs on, and the seatbelt signs can come on. And let's have them run the pre-flight.
Pre-flight checklist started. Battery on. APU check.
I just noticed that there are windows above it. Yeah, they have eyebrow windows here. I don't know if the 7.2 or the 2.7-200 has the eyebrows, the brow windows. So we're going to get a suntan today.
Starting the APU.
So while they're running that checklist, we're going to. Oh, it does? Cool. Yeah. So we all got suntans back then. You're flying the 200? Awesome. Then I picked the perfect style of route.
APU generators closed. Radio master is on. Parking brake set. Galley power on. APU generators closed.
All right, so VORs.
Oil quantity test complete.
We got 117.1. We're going to put that in here. It's going to be our Virginia K. Or Virginia Key. Put the next VOR in, which is
Engine number 1 bleed is open. Engine 2 bleed is open.
I'm covering the camera with the clipboard. Try to see.
Engine 3 bleed is open.
The next one's going to be
APU bleed
Sangus today,
is
so we're going to
open.
put that one in there as well. 115.7.
All packs are open. Packs trip-off warnings tested.
And then over here, I'm going to put 115.7 in as well.
Fuel dump switches closed.
And why are you doing that, you say?
Dump valve in transit lights
Well,
tested.
this is going to be active in
Fuel
nav2.
nozzles in transit
So
lights
when
tested.
that's going to show up here. So when it becomes active, I'm going to see the needles jump. And I know that I can then switch nav1 over and then continue. That's why I'm putting that in there.
Nav compass source set to
And then the next one's going to be Norman Manley VOR, and that's 115.
main panel lights checked.
115.5.
Throttle warning horn tested. Fire bottle transfer switch set to left. Pre-flight checks complete.
Set up my nav panel. So these are all the VORs in sequence. So we can switch them off. And what I'm going to do here is, so when this one becomes active, I'm going to switch it off so that thing, and then I'm going to switch these over so that Norman Manley is in nav2, so that we know when that becomes active. And then I'm going to program Norman Manley over here so that when it's time to do our VOR approach, I can just switch it back to the Norman Manley VOR. All right. Then 382 is going to be our ADN. It's the only one, so we don't need to go across the board. But you could do the same thing if you were following NDB by NDB by NDB. You can do the same thing, putting active and so on, so that you would know when your next one becomes live. But there we are. Let's see, we can do some overhead panel light in. Now let's get our ATIS.
Flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Victor. Miami International Airport, information Victor. 1953 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 26 left, 30, 26 right, 27. Wind 270 at 9er gusting 16. Visibility 10.
Miami clearance, Eastern 556 with information Victor. I'd like to pick up our IFR to Norman Manley.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by. Eastern 556, Miami clearance. You still have an open flight plan. Please be sure to close that one first via the new flight button.
Well, let's try that again. All right. Miami clearance, Eastern 556 with information Victor. I'd like to pick up our IFR to Norman Manley.
Clearance on request. You're number one.
Number one. So the only thing that
556, Miami clearance. Information Victor is current. Cleared to Manley. After departure, fly radar vectors Virginia Key, then is filed. Expect runway 27. Initial climb to 4,000. Departure on 120.5. Squawk 4331.
all right, cleared to Manley, radar vectors Virginia Key, then is filed. Expect 27, climb 4,000, departure on 120.5, and we'll squawk 4331, Eastern 556.
Eastern 556, read back correct.
Correct. Probably would be correct even if it wasn't correct, because I don't think they correct you. 3301. Turn that
Miami
on.
clearance, Delta 1357, requesting our IFR clearance. We have Victor.
Clearance on request. You're number one.
What's pretty cool is that everybody has Victor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
And they kind of fixed.
Clearance on request. You're number one.
56, departing from Miami International.
Delta 1357, cleared to Detroit via the L-10-2 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure on 120.5, squawk 6441. Expect runway 26 left.
To reach out to any member
Yes.
of our crew. Thank you.
Miami clearance, Delta 1357, cleared to Detroit via L-10-2 departure, then is filed. Climb to and maintain 4,000.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool is they actually have kind of set up where everybody's kind of starting to sync up on the same page. So Victor's currently current at the airport, so everybody's using it, which I never noticed that before. They've been doing some updates in the background.
Delta
So,
1357, read back correct.
and I think that's lit up, so we can go into nav mode and distance. Distance time. All right, so Virginia Key is 8 nautical miles away. And we'll come up here, switch that. This wouldn't be very realistic, but it is what it is with the sim. They wouldn't have known what GPS was in 1968. Right, I think we're pretty much golden. Let's do some perf calculations. Got 14 minutes left. So we're still probably loading baggage and so on and so forth. There's that beautiful 727-200. We're running the shorter, stubbier version. We got 13 minutes left, so we're gonna. What are we gonna do? We are going to. Review everything, make sure it's all good. We'll put 4,000 in here. Our initial climb. Be all messed up. Nothing happening, so we're just not going to sit around. So we're going to finish it up. That way we can get the takeoff calculation. We're going to runway 27. We do flap 15 departure. Let's get the weather in here. And we'll set the EPR. Set the speeds. Go V1 118. VR is a 118 as well. V2 134. Start cleaning up the plane at 154, 148. And flaps up. Minimum speed is 194. That all looks good. And we're going to have our lovely first officer take care of the rest of say intentions for us so I can pay attention to the plane and talk to you guys at the same time. So
Miami ground, Eastern 556, requesting pushback and start.
APU started. Is it on the gens? I don't know.
Before start checks.
Eastern 556, push and start approved. Tail northwest.
Push start approved. Tail northwest.
Push and start approved. Tail northwest, Eastern 556.
Altimeter is set to 1.
Skipper 0, Mike Yankee, ready to taxi. Skipper 0, Mike Yankee, runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo 10.
Emergency exit lights armed.
Runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo 10, Skipper 0, Mike Yankee.
Radios are on.
American 3018 ready for push.
American 3018, push and start at your discretion.
Push back, start approved. American 3018.
Alternate flaps off.
Envoy 496, request push and start. Envoy 4096, pushback approved.
Warning tested.
Pushback approved. Envoy 4096.
Engine and wing anti-ice set to off. Flight control shutoffs on.
270 on the heading.
Locking gear.
Anti-skid tested. Comparators checked.
Ride slow. Pull up.
Ground proximity warning system checked. Airspeed warning checked. Yaw dampers on. Throttle warning horn tested. Stabilizer trim checked. Trim tested and set. Flight director checked. Boost pump 1 is on. Hydraulic B pump number
15
1
is in.
Air Portugal 224 ready to taxi.
Fire control is checked.
Actually, we're going to leave it in nav because our first point is Virginia Key, so we'll leave that in so we can follow this.
Quebec 10 Air Portugal.
And that checks about 8 miles.
Rudder power is checked and on.
Big checklist.
Master is on. Shocks and cones are removed. Before start checklist complete.
Before start checklist complete, we're going to go nose, left, tail, right.
Release parking brakes, please.
All right, Billy, we're pushing back.
American 3018 ready to taxi.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
American 3018, runway 26 left taxi via November 13, Mike 11.
Let's get those GT8s
Runway
rolling.
26 left taxi via November 13, Mike 11, American 3018.
We'll wait for the oil pressure light to come out, and then we will.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Eastern Airlines Flight 556, departing from Miami International Airport and heading to Norman Manley International Airport. The estimated flight time is 1 hour and 30 minutes. We kindly ask that you pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important.
So I read that on the pushback, they would only start engine 3
Please set parking brake.
until they connect it and ready to go. All right, so we're going to roll engine 2. Let's get start on 3. Very low bypass engines fire up pretty quickly. Wait for that oil pressure cutout or light cutout. All right, let's go, and we are at 20%. Introduce some fuel.
Delta 1357. Requesting pushback and engine start. We have Victor.
There are 2 exits in the front and 2 exits in the rear of the aircraft. The nearest exit may be behind you. In the event of an evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow all safety instructions from the crew immediately. If any electronic device, including power banks, becomes hot or shows signs of damage, please inform a crew member.
Delta 1357, push and start approved. Tail east.
Your seat pocket contains all
Push and start
All right,
approved.
good start on
Delta
1
1357.
Enjoy your flight with us today.
to number 2. Cut out, there's a fuel. We have light off.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Dragster 3916, taxi to parking.
It's 3 good starts.
Dragster 3916, taxi to parking via Juliet, Quebec, Yankee, Yankee 2, Whiskey, November.
Juliet, Quebec, Yankee 2, Whiskey, November, Dragster 3916.
Cabin dinging. All right, there's flaps 15. Ready departure. All right, flaps 15 set after start checklist.
All packs are open.
All packs. So you can obviously do all this yourself, but it would be... Actually, it's a lot more involved than even...
Beacon lights on. DC power checked. Boost pumps.
What's the ground position on the engine start switch?
Hydraulic system nav, beacon, and logo lights set. Emergency exit lights armed. Window heat is on. Gyro nav compass source set to normal. Alternate flaps off.
We have
Engine and wing anti-ice set to off. Flight control shutoffs on. Anti-skid checked and off.
where is that?
Comparators checked.
Envoy 3562, cross runway 27. Cross runway 27, Envoy 3562.
Flight instruments all on 1. Airspeed warning checked. Yaw dampers on.
Yeah, I think it's on the overhead.
Boilers detent.
So
Flight director checked.
engine start panel is upper inner right.
After start checks complete.
And ground is the down switch. So you put the switch down for ground start. That's complete.
Taxi checks. Taxi lights are on.
It's definitely, it's inner right upper.
Flaps 15 set. EPR is set to 0 decimal 0. Trim is set
American 2428, request push and start.
American 2428, push and start approved.
air condition.
Pushback approved, American 2428.
All right, text checklist
Taxi checks are
is
complete.
complete.
Envoy 3927, ready to push.
We're ready to go.
Envoy 3927, push approved, expect taxi shortly.
Pushback and start approved, Envoy 3927.
Miami ground, Eastern 556, ready for taxi.
Eastern 556.
All right, ready to go.
27, taxi via Papa.
Brakes
Quebec
released.
10.
Let's go.
Runway 27, Papa, Quebec 10, Eastern 556. Miami ground, Delta 1357, ready to taxi. We have Victor.
You know, the thing I really wish, so they went through all this effort to make a paper chart.
Delta 1357, runway 26 left, taxi via Papa, Whiskey, November 13, Mike 11.
So they went through all this effort to make paper charts,
Runway 26
or
left.
paper
Papa Whiskey,
EFB,
November,
right?
November 13, Mike
With
11.
this right here.
Delta 1357.
Why did they add this little cell phone thing for crew manager? They could have just added a page in their paper chart thing, and it could have been just a paper thing, and we could have kept that classic immersion. Because, you know, if I wanted to simulate 1968, why would I have this little tablet, right?
American 2428, ready to taxi.
American 2428, runway 26 left, taxi via November 13, Mike 11.
Hugo, Scotland. Hey, welcome to the stream. Good point. Yeah, I mean, honestly, how hard could it? I mean, I'm not a programmer, but how hard could it have been just to add a page to that paper tablet, right?
485, taxi to parking via Mike 4, Mike Yankee, Quebec, Papa Tango, Papa.
Mike 4, Mike Yankee, Quebec, Papa Tango, Papa Coca 485.
Wait for the co-pilot profile. Yeah, they're working on one. That'll be cool. And we do 3 in FS co-pilot. Get Billy and Limp to fly. I'll be your flight engineer.
Envoy 3927, ready to taxi.
Envoy 3927, runway 30, taxi via November 13, Mike Yankee, Quebec, Papa Tango, Papa, Quebec 10. Hold short of runway 27, then Quebec 10.
Runway 30, taxi via November 13, Mike Yankee, Quebec, Papa Tango, Papa, Quebec 10. Hold short of runway 27, then Quebec 10, Envoy 3927.
Here's 27. Looking good. Our crew has set up the plane for us, so it's a lot less we have to worry about. All right, before takeoff, so we can start that rolling. Let's tune in the tower and say attentions.
Ignition says continuous.
First officer
Ascension
request our
power is on
takeoff.
generator 3. Anti-skid on. Strobe lights on.
Miami Tower, Eastern 556,
Lights on.
holding short of the runway, ready for departure.
Transponder is on. APU is off. Boost pumps.
Eastern 556, Miami Tower, hold short of runway 27, 7671 mile final. Eastern 556, runway 27, winds 270 at 9er, gusting 16. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 27, runway heading, cleared for takeoff. Eastern 556.
All right, guys.
Checks complete.
All right, lights on. Flaps 15 set. We'll do it. We'll do it on the roll. All right, ready? Spool them up. Stabilize 3. Let's go. Togas in chat. Thrust set.
80 knots.
Check.
V1, rotate.
Positive rate. You're up.
Eastern 526, contact departure.
Contacting departure, Eastern 556.
All right, we're on the runway heading.
Miami departure, Eastern 556. Good afternoon.
I'll call it
Climbing
on.
through 1000.
Eastern 556, Miami departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 350, turn left heading 100, vectors to Virginia Key, then on course.
Climb and maintain
350.
flight level 350. Left heading 100, vectors to VKZ, then on course. Eastern 556.
One zero zero.
Eastern 556, direct Virginia Key, then as filed, please.
Direct VKZ, then is filed. Eastern 556.
Come around 100. Wish I could sync this to my autopilot hardware, but
Departure American 2428, 2000 for 4000. American 2428, radar contact, climb and maintain 12, 1,
let's clean
2000.
up the plane. Let's get things going. We gotta get climbing up here.
Up to 12, 1, 2000, American 2428.
Kind of
Eastern 556 reported
kind of
about
messed up the
32
schedule there.
An aircraft reported light turbulence at flight level 60. Eastern 556, speed 195 for spacing.
Speed 195
Way
for
too
spacing.
fast.
Eastern
Way too
556.
fast. Get some climb power in. Bring it in. Too fast. It's the GPS, auxiliary nav. We'll INS it. Gonna do some real sharp turns here because we're pretty close to that VOR.
The use of approved electronic devices is now permitted in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you enjoy your flight with us today.
Climb power in, so we're over 10,000. Landing lights can come off. And we'll go IAS hold. All right, now it's going to start going to Ursa. And off we go, guys. Man, I love the bare metal liveries. All of them Eastern, American. All right, turn it on down towards Cuba. And we're polluting the Florida air.
577, contact Miami
So
Tower on
there's a nice
118.3.
not very efficient. All right, after takeoff.
After takeoff, checks.
Eastern 556, contact Miami Center on 124.7.
Landing gear is set to off.
Contacting Miami Center on 124.7, Eastern 556.
After takeoff checks complete.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are climbing up.
Miami
There's
Center,
18,000.
Eastern 556.
Some
Good
music on.
afternoon. Climbing through 18,000 for flight level 350.
Yeah.
556, Miami Center, good afternoon.
Turn down the other sounds just a little bit.
JetBlue 1383, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
134.85, JetBlue 1383, thanks.
And we are off. Yep, and the DME is climbing because we're going away from Virginia K. That's what we have set.
JetBlue 1496, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
Might have a driver timeout. Oh, man.
JetBlue 1496, see you.
Rip. That sucks, man. Go for a screenshot. Oh, wow.
On 127.8. 127.8, CU United 1224.
All right, we have 3-5 sets, and that's armed. It's good. Have our climb power in. Off to Kingston, Jamaica, everybody. All right, if you're just joining the stream, we are flying the 727-100 from Miami down to Kingston, Jamaica with the bare metal livery. This is available on FlightSim TO. We did put a link to this livery in the chat. Well, not in the chat, in the description. But is a very beautiful livery. And we are flying the old school 100, first generation. And I'm going to attempt a VOR approach into Norman Manley. Now we're not doing. I'm not going to do the arc because our flight path actually intercepts the VOR at the initial approach fix. And I'm really rusty on flying VOR arcs.
Flight level 350. JetBlue 772, radar contact. American 034, contact Houston Center on 132.175.
132.175, American 3034.
American 3218, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85. Over to Jacksonville Center, American 3218, so long. Southwest 783, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
We're down to 1,000. We'll accelerate up to 300 knots, and then we'll go back to the AS mode. How hard can arc be? I'm just a little rusty on it. I know you have to. So 15 DME have to fly the. You pretty much you stay the course. From my understanding, you keep it at 15 DME. So if you go to 16, you adjust course in. If it goes 14, you adjust course out. You kind of do this little tiny S. And if you do it right, you'll actually curve. You'll actually make a little curve around. So I have the principle of it correct. I just haven't practiced it enough, and I would rather practice it at in a Cessna at 100 knots instead of 210 knots, where if you make a little bit of an error, you're off. Besides, our flight path actually intercepts the final approach fix better.
Flight level 270, cleared for the Frogs 5, arrival into Miami. Southwest 783, contact Jacksonville Center on 133.325.
On to 133.325, East Southwest 783, good day.
Delta 811, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
134.85 ECU Delta 811.
American 1600, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
Switching to Jacksonville Center on 134.85 to American 1600. United 668, flight level 340.
Well, oh, sorry to hear that, Billy. I hate that. You run an AMD, aren't you?
Southwest 1776, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85.
134.85 East Southwest 7.
Up here, yeah, I've seen a lot of guys that run AMD get those driver timeout. Man,
Jacksonville Center, American 1600, so long.
I get the frustration with that, man. We give it a clean install. Yeah, that should fix it. But that's the first in a while. Yeah, when like CTDs and everything, knock on wood, happen, it's usually goes a good while, and then all of a sudden some kind of hiccup and bang. And for a screenshot, it's just criminal. Yeah, that's not cool.
Over to Jacksonville Center on 133.325, Paper American 3218.
All right, so we got about an hour. Get down to Jamaica.
American 3034, contact Jacksonville Center on 134.85. 134.85 for American 3034. JetBlue 1742, descend and maintain flight level 230, cleared for the Cuban to arrival into Jacksonville.
Down to flight level 230, cleared for the Cuban to arrival into Jacksonville, JetBlue 174.
All right, I do have the auto throttle just in case it gets to be an issue, but I'm going to try to manage the speeds with just the throttles alone because this plane didn't have auto throttle. Should be able to set cruise power. Level out 350. Here we are. How do you autopilot in this? So the autopilot is right here. It's actually a Spurry, more modern Spurry.
Delta 811, contact Jacksonville Center.
Hey, SCN, hey, welcome to the stream and chat. Hello, hello. How are you, sir?
134.85 for Delta 811.
So, there's a couple different modes. So you engage the autopilot. You need, if you're running heading, you hit heading select, and you have to have it in turn knob. If you have it in nav, it'll follow. So the nav loc switch is will follow the regular nav path, the radio nav path. Auxiliary nav is actually for the INS, and they've integrated this nav GPS switch in there. Let's say Eastern Pacific hurricane season starts tomorrow. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
American 2161, descend and maintain flight level 250, cleared for the Beast 2 arrival into Miami.
So AuxNav is for the INS. NavLoc is for the radio nav. If you have to put it in GPS to follow the INS coordinates,
radar contact.
And then you have to move it to turn knob for anything heading. Altitude, you press the altitude select, it'll arm. Once you reach altitude, it'll engage. You always have to hit this. It's kind of like the F-28. You have to, whenever you make a change, you have to hit this. So here's, and I don't know if it's a real world or a bug, but say we were climbing up, we were given 14,000 feet. I turn down the ATC for me. All right. Say we're originally climbing to 15,000. They said, okay, climb flight level 350, and you were climbing up with this armed, okay, at the 15,000. If you were to scroll this up to 350 and just let it go, it'll stop at 15,000. So you have to come back down and double click this to rearm it for 350 before you hit that 15,000 in order to climb past it. I don't know if that's the real world, but it is definitely one of those things. Why?
Out of current altitude for flight level 250, cleared for the Beast arrival into Miami, America 1124.
That's just the sunlight. I thought we had a low pressure light. Like, what the heck? That's lateral and the beginnings of vertical. So how are we going to climb? So there's two ways to climb. There's vertical speed, which then you adjust the vertical speed here to the desired. So you just scroll this up and down to the desired VS, and it will hold that. But there's also a IAS speed hold mode for climb, which is kind of like flight level change, and you could set it wherever you're at. So I usually start it off at 250. You set that and it'll hold 250 in the climb, then adjusting the vertical pitch to maintain that speed. So that's the two ways to climb. So if you want to speed up, though, you can flick it back over to vertical speed, make adjustments, like to bring it down to 1,000 feet per minute so that you can increase your speed up. So that's how it went from 250 to, up to 300. So it brought it down to 1,000 feet per minute, and then just let the speed come up. And then you can just flick it back to IS hold, and it'll hold 300 on the climb up. Over here, you have your approach heading. So you can do, I always did auto glide slope. So it'll auto capture the vertical and lateral path on the ILS. Can't do coupled RNAV for a lot of reasons. We just passed Ursus. Now we're heading down to Cuba. So I only ever did auto glide slope. I don't remember too much about what manual glide slope is. It's been a while since I've researched it all. But if you were running an ILS, you could just hit the auto glide slope and it'll capture the ILS for you. So we're going to be doing a VOR, which is going to be just a lateral, and it's going to be descending by DME points. So we won't be worrying about this. We'll be worrying more about navloc, because we're going to be holding the lateral navigation with the navigation, the autopilot. Fuel efficient with the throttle. Not very realistic, but it does we ran a little bit of a speed breakout. Let's manage things a little better.
Good evening. Maintaining flight.
Don't judge me. I feel you guys judging me.
Eastern 556, Havana Center, good evening.
Feel the cold stare of judgment. If I put it on auto throttle, I don't have to worry about it. I could, do the nice outside views.
American 124, contact Miami Center on 134.35.
Hi, Captain John. Would you like a drink or a small
4.5 ECU, American 1124. Miami Center, American 1124, flight level.
Yeah, we're good, thank you.
American 1124, red appetite.
You're welcome, John. Let me know if you need anything
American
else.
1124, descend and maintain flight level 250, cleared for the V2 arrival into Miami.
Say intentions, flight crew.
Current altitude for flight level 250, cleared for the V2 arrival into Miami, American 1124.
Yep, hurricane season. It's the time of year that all flight sim streamers go become hurricane chasers. I wonder if they improved hurricane effects in the sim, because I felt it was kind of mid.
2175 ECU Southwest 4526.
Savannah Center, American 1028, flight level 370.
American 1028, radar contact.
I had a buddy of mine growing up that his dad flew 7.2s for Eastern in the 80s. Storm chasing in the Caravan. Yes, yes. I want to see how the Caravan does at 115 knots. 115 knot crosswind.
Down to flight level 250. Cleared for the Beast 2 arrival into Miami.
But yeah, I had a so my buddy's dad, he was a pilot for, I think he was first officer for Eastern, flying 7.2s. And before that, he was a captain on a B-52. Eastern was one of those cool legacies.
Miami Center, American 1124, flight level 360.
American 1124, radar contact.
I don't know, I think the clouds are looking good today.
Savannah Center, American 674, flight level 340.
Hard to beat a B-52, right?
Savannah Center, American 2962.
I don't know, I might have been, maybe that 7.2 was kind of boring compared to flying a B-52, right?
American 2962, contact Miami approach on 120.5.
120.5, American 2962, thanks for the help.
American 2315, contact Miami Oceanic Center on 125.7.
Second to the B1. Ooh, B1.
American 3315, good day.
That was a very cool bomber. Supersonic. It had the Concorde look to it. Actually, probably Concorde was probably designed off of it.
American 674, contact Miami Oceanic Center on 135.2.
Over to Miami Oceanic Center, American 674. So long.
American 674, contact Miami Center.
I think the B1 that's still in service, I think.
135.6, American 674. Good day.
Miami Center, American 1028, flight level 350.
American 1028, radar contact. Chesky 344, contact Miami Center on 135.6.
It is, yes. That's a very cool plane. We actually have that one in the sim. I think Top Mach makes it.
Flight level 360.
Top Mach makes it. Still on the top, yes, sir. Supersonic bomber. So we have the B2. Now, the B2 is more stealthy, but it's not supersonic.
JetBlue 1752, descend and maintain flight level 230, clear for the Bluff Ridge 3 arrival into Tampa.
Descending to flight level 230. Clear for the Bluff Ridge 3 arrival into Tampa, JetBlue 1752. Savannah Center, American 874, flight level 340.
American 874, radar contact.
I know we have the B1 in the sim. I wonder who, I can't remember the dev that makes that one. Oh, maybe Holden should have got the B1. He was looking for a military plane. I think he decided he's going with the B2. Top Mach B2. It's a good one. It's a good one. more of a classic bomber guy, you know. Maybe in the cockpit of like a B-25 or B-17. It's really had high hopes for Microprose's B-17, but each review I see on it when they update it, it's just... When I was a kid, I was at an air show at Geneseo, New York, and they had a Warbirds air show there, and they had all it was like 9, I think, at the time. Hard to remember when I was a kid, but it was like 9 B-17s. I think it was all of them that were flying at the time, and they did a formation flyover. Man, that was cool. Funny story about that. So one of the co-pilots got sick for one of the B-17s. It was based in Colorado. They have an experimental profile. Nice. You gotta get a crew together. 7271. All right. Yeah. So the story at Geneseo. So it was funny. They made an announcement that one of the first officers of the B-17 was got sick, couldn't fly the leg home to Colorado. So they made a call out to all pilots that were at the air show. All you needed was a multi-engine rating, and they were like, please come up to the announcer stand and let us know if you're interested. You'll fly to Denver, but they weren't going to cover your flight back. And it was like 10 minutes later, they made an announcement. Said, okay, we're closing. We have enough pilots to fly. We're actually going to have to do a lottery. No more signing up. We got enough. Because, I mean, who wouldn't? I would pay for a flight home if I could fly a B-17. Definitely would pay for an airline ticket home. What was it like? It'd be like a 12-hour flight to Denver? 12 hours? Sitting in a B-17? That'd be heaven. All right, there's Cuba. You can open up the DB Cooper doors. You can parachute out, grab some cigars. Don't know how we get back to our ride, but that actually looks really good, guys. Wow. That looks crazy. Make this black and white, and it would be an Eastern Airlines commercial right here.
American 2161, radar contact.
All right, look, about 35 minutes in, so let's review this approach.
Down to flight level 250.
See if I can put this in here.
To arrival into Miami. American 3315.
Very careful so you don't hit that bug. Freeze my here's my cursor. Alright, so approach. Then the VR at DME runway 12. What the heck?
American 2161, contact Miami Center on 135.6.
So we're going to be coming across right here en route to on this path to Manly. So we're actually going to intercept at Resp.
On to 125.7, American 3315.
So we had to be 4,000 feet at Resp and descend to. So 4,000 feet at Resp. We stay at 4,000 feet Elser, and then we're going to descend 2,000 feet to 2,100 at Pulsar. Now we're reading these intersection names, but we are going to go. So 4.5 at Ireland, and our minimum approach decision altitude is 1.5 nautical miles from the airport. So what we're going to go by is these DMEs. So 4,015 nautical miles from the airport. We got to be at 2,100 by 7.6 nautical miles from the airport. We'll be 1,100 at 4.5. And then decision, we have to have visual by 1.5. So this is how we're going to know that we're on the right glide path. When we're descending down and we cross these points at these distances at these altitudes. So it's a little different, and it's all done manually. So we're going to see. It should be visual from pretty far out. So even if we get all screwed up, we can kind of just go visual and be all right. But this is also the DME arc. So we could intercept Havbo at 17 nautical miles on the R343. So what you would do is you would I think it's if you set 343, that's the intercept. So when you come in on the 343 radial, and you get 17 nautical miles, you then turn in, and you gotta try to keep it at 17 nautical miles from the
Switching to Miami Center on 134.35, the American 3315.
from Manly, and then you would tune the courser into here, this direction, 120, and you would come in, and when you cross this radial, you would turn in and follow in. That's my understanding of a DME arc. Unpracticed, so we're just going to intercept it rest.
Thanks.
American 674, descend and maintain flight level 230, cleared for the VC2 arrival.
All right, so 115.5, we have that number. 120 will be our course heading. Our final approach fix is 2,100 feet at Cruiser. You have to be 500 feet at 1.5 nautical miles and visual of the runway. Missed approach. We have to go miss. We got to climb 1,000 feet, then turn a right to 225, heading to intercept the 17 DME arc at 4,000 to Elser. So if we have to go miss, we're going to kind of have to. If we fly published, we're going to kind of have to come around and do the arc, but will probably be two things. One will be vectored by say intentions, as well as we could just do a downwind and come back in to make things simple. All right, 500 feet, which is 492 feet above the ground. We're not worrying about circle to land. Any questions? So we should be descending at roughly 680-ish, between 650 and 700 feet per minute should be our angle of descent for 3 degrees.
Savannah Center, Sky High 811, flight level 340.
Sky High 811, radar contact.
Do some landing calculations. So ICAO, we're going to put in MKJP. We're going to go full flap weather. And then we'll set the speeds. So we're pretty good and ready for the approach. And 344 is our top of descent. We are 150 nautical miles away from our top of descent. 18.5 minutes out. Just to double check, we are going 483 knots across the ground. Any questions on that? There's a thing too, we were INS and I didn't check to see if our ADF was working. We're not registering Sangaster yet because we are too far out. We're too far out.
Bianca 4, descend and maintain flight level 250, cleared for the V2 arrival into Miami.
Down to flight level 250, cleared for the V2 arrival into Miami, Avianca 4.
Savannah Center, American 1096, flight level 360.
American 1096, radar contact.
Still over Cuba. Definitely would not be flying this route 1968. This is similar to what modern day flying would be over Cuba. And you can actually fly civilian over Cuba as well, but you need a flyover permit. I actually did a whole live stream on, we flew from Grand Cayman up to Key West. And I did a whole thing on how you would use and acquire a flyover permit and how you would enter and exit, enter and exit points. It's a pretty cool stream. You guys want to check it out on the channel. It's an older one, so you have to go back. We were flying the black square analog King Air. Hi guys, just joining in. Don't forget to hit that like button. We are also on our way to our next goal, subscriber goal of 1,000. So if you would like to really help out the channel and see more of my content, make sure you smash that subscribe button as well. Bill said, "Will do." Okay, yeah, cool. It's a pretty cool stream. The whole thing about the permit. And so on. It was how to legally fly over Cuba. Not land, just fly. Yeah, I think I even went so far as like how much it cost and everything like that. So, pretty cool. That's the funny thing too, is we're actually still in Cuban airspace. Now, this flight plan doesn't have the proper flyover exit point. So you need an entrance point and an exit point, almost like flying oceanic. When you file a flight plan for Cuba, you need they have a specific list of proper entry and exit fixes. But because we are in the 7.2, I didn't want to keep putting in fixed points. Besides, this route that I'm taking actually doesn't have an exit fixed point. So it would have been a little longer on the stream, and I wanted to kind of keep it short. It's pretty interesting how straight it is. So Ursa is an entry point, and it would be like a straight. It's like a straight line right across the country of Cuba, and then to that exit point, which is just outside of both airspaces.
United 653, flight level 210.
United 653, radar contact.
And I love Caribbean flying in the sim. Never been to the Caribbean in real life. It is a bucket list for me. Want to see that blue water. So how's everybody's week been? Mine's been good. Short work week. The very interesting weekend planned. My you're soon to retire, no? I got 5 more years, Billy. 5 more. It's just 5. It's still 5. Very, very close. Very, very close. Then I'll stream full time. But yep, this weekend my daughter graduates college. Believe it or not. Find that crazy? Soonish. Yes, it's soonish. But you never know, I could win the lottery. But yeah, my daughter graduates college, so congratulations to her on that accomplishment. Crazy this month. My daughter graduates college this month, and my granddaughter turns 1. You got 40 more years? I remember when I had that.
On to 134.35, yeah, Bianca 4, good day.
Ish. But I will only be I'll be retired with 34 years of service in my field.
8.1, Avianca 195.
34 years. All right, we are leaving Cuban airspace. we're going to be starting our descent soon. 70 nautical miles to our descent. 8 minutes. Well, let me see what Say Intentions is going to do for us. I don't know if Say Intentions is going to do anything for us because they're not counting down top of the descent. Imagine with these crewing like this. Later years of 727s ended up being used as regional jets with like 5-6 legs a day. Imagine sitting in or manning this for 5-6 legs a day, 14 hours a day. I imagine it was quite exhausting.
Savannah Center, United 653, flight level 330.
United 653, radar contact.
All right, guys, we're all set up for a descent. So whenever Say Intentions is ready to start letting us down, we can go. Let's see what our we could actually do a calculation. Like, target is so we do about 1,600 feet per minute. I get a rough calculation of our descent.
Center on 128.1, Eastern 5.
And then doing it again, and then again, and then again. With a very workload intensive aircraft. Cabin. Oops. They all been holding their bladders in the whole flight. The biggest thing is try to. All right, so we have that up. So we're gonna put that over here, and then we go 15.
Kingston Center, Eastern 556. Good evening, at flight level 350.
Eastern 556, Kingston Center, identified. Good evening.
Departure Cessna 364, 2000 for 4,000.
So we're already picking up
radar contact.
Manly as well. And with the door probably open. Yep. Yep. All prior to 2001. Smoking a cigarette. Our ashtray. Cup of coffee. That is wild to me. You know, that pilots used to just sit up here during cruise and put back a couple cigarettes.
Cessna Tree 64, contact Havana Center on 133.35.
22 miles to our top of descent. I'm going to request lower. Say intentions in a little bit. We can do that now. This is Center Eastern 556. We're ready for our descent.
Eastern 556, say requested altitude.
Really? No. Request 4,000 feet for 556.
Kingston Center, Caribbean Airlines 6, 3,000.
Eastern 556, descend and maintain 4,000.
Go all the way down.
Radar contact. Caribbean Airlines 6, contact Barranquilla Center on 124.2.
124.2, and Caribbean Airlines 6.
So, we're going to go down. Let's do this. And we'll dial in 1,600 feet per minute.
Kingston Center, Caribbean Airlines.
See what that puts us.
Caribbean Airlines 6, radar contact.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming on down. Let them know we started our descent. We don't need that just yet. So it's reacquiring Sangaster. That's where we're at. We are 97 miles from Norman Manley. I do have scenery for that, so I haven't tested it out. It is a 2020 only scenery, so let's have our fingers crossed on whether it'll work or not.
Cayman 853, contact Cinema Center on 135.5.
Definitely.
135.5.
So the forums, when I got the scenery for this flight, they said it works just fine. So we'll see. are definitely rocking our touchdown effects landing rate monitor. Yeah, this was the era of with doors open. And, passengers, kids used to be able to come up and see the co-pilot or see the cockpit. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it a little more 1968. Here's any passengers. I don't think GSX. Of course, I didn't run GSX, but
Contact Cinema Center on 133.5.
133.5. Cayman 853. Thanks.
aviator stuff up here. We go heading mode. Descending pretty good. Pretty solid on the mark. Feel as though we need to come in lower. Faster. Almost a Sangster. I don't want to. Get some speed brake. Get down a little faster. I don't mind being a little early. Flying over Sangster. Right now. Right meow. Coming in across the state. Let's kill the music. We're going to need to get a little more head in the game kind of thing. So 69 nautical miles to Manly. I'm going to go head select Army altitude. Got to do that. That would have been bad. here. So nav. Actually come right in on that radio. Wouldn't that would be actually the cat's ass, so to speak. Let's see if it'll go for it. How's that for the setup?
Eastern 556, contact Manley approach on 120.6.
Kingston Center, Chancellor Tree X-ray November 3000.
Chancellor Tree X-ray November.
Manley approach. Eastern
17,000 to go.
Good afternoon. Descending 17,000.
How do I head set our altitude lower?
Eastern 556, Manley approach, identified. Good afternoon. Mafuta altimeter 1013. Expect the ILS runway. 12 approach into Manley.
We are not doing the ILS 12 approach.
Expect the ILS runway 12 approach into Manley. Eastern 556.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain speaking. Return to your seats, put your seatbelts on, and we are approaching Norman Manley International Airport.
Comjet 37, contact Kingston Center on 128.1.
Switching to Kingston Center on 128.1 hours, Comjet 37.
The lights can come on. So what's interesting about this one is for the ILS for only 12 is a 3-degree offset, and this one is actually more on the center line. That was kind of quiet. Yeah, it was definitely kind of quiet. The Blue Mountains of Jamaica? I think they're called the Blue Mountains. There's the Blue Mountains of Hawaii. Niner 2 is our pull out of this little dive that we got going here.
To go.
Oh, maybe my early descent kind of maybe screwed us a little bit. It's a little low on the mountain here.
Kilo Papa Echo Hotel, radar contact. Climb and maintain 4,000.
4,000 Papa Kilo Papa Echo Hotel.
Eastern 556, 24 miles from Salah. Maintain present heading. Descend and maintain altitude 2,000 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 12 approach.
Maintain present heading. Descend and maintain 2,000 until established on the localizer.
I pre-established.
Eastern 556.
Pre-established. Let me get my chart up. So at DME 21, we'll be passing RESP, our initial approach fix. 50 miles short of final. Yes. Got it way ahead of the plane. Way ahead of the plane. I love it. We did come down a little too fast. I kind of panicked there. But that's okay. Got plenty of fuel. Let's do our approach checks.
Approach checks. Nav, beacon, and logo lights set. Brake pressure checked.
Air Transat 519er contact Kingston Center on 128.1.
Boost pumps all on. Crossfeed number 2 is open and 1 and 3 are closed. Fuel heat off. Hydraulic pumps all on. Approach checks complete.
Yeah, runway's in sight. There it is, right off our nose.
Beechcraft 7 Tango, Quebec 2000 for 4,000.
Beechcraft 7 Tango, Quebec. Radar contact.
A little bouncy over the mountain here.
6,000 Beechcraft 7 Tango, Quebec.
1 nautical mile to our initial approach fix. Port right off our nose. All right, we're over RESP. And at 15 nautical miles, we'll start down to 2100. should be at 2,100 feet at 7.6.
Second flaps out.
Beechcraft 7 Tango Quebec, contact Santo Domingo Center on 124.6.
124.6 feet, Beechcraft 7 Tango Quebec, thanks.
Eastern 556, contact Manly Tower on 118.65.
Manly Tower, Eastern 556. Good evening. Established on the ILS runway 12 approach.
Eastern 556, Manly Tower, roger, wind 130 at 12, runway 12, traffic on final.
Flaps 30.
556, number 2 behind the JetBlue A320 on short final, runway 12, wind 130 at 12, clear to land.
Number 2 behind the JetBlue A320, runway 12, cleared to land. Eastern 556.
1. We're looking for 7.6, and then we can actually start down on our approach. So cool. The runway in sight. There's 7.6 nautical miles. Not there. Full.
JetBlue 1759, contact ground on 121.7.
Ground for JetBlue 1759, good day.
Landing checks. Flaps full, set. Ignition set to continuous. Anti-skid on. Landing checks complete.
Look at that scenery, man. Got all the shipping cargo, container ships over there. Nice one, Asobo. They're like the pink checker cruise line. All right, so the 100 did not have auto brakes. So we're going to go reverse and then manual braking. We're a little high. .500 check. Stable, clear to land. I don't think the PAPI's ever activated. Seat brake check. I'm on. Holy float, Batman. There's 80 knots. You bring it out of reverse. Take the high speed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Norman Manley International Airport, Kingston, Jamaica.
Houston 556, exit at Delta if able. Contact ground on 121.7.
Exit at Delta if able. Switching to ground on 121.7. Eastern 556. Manley ground, Eastern 556. Good evening. Cleared of runway. Ready to taxi to the gate.
After landing checks. Brake pressure checked. Pressure switch set to ground.
Eastern 556, Manley ground, taxi to Terminal Gate 2 via Delta.
Landing
Good day.
and strobe lights are off. Taxi
Terminal
lights
Gate
are
2 via Delta. Eastern 556.
Spoilers down. Anti-skid off. Ignition is off. Elevator trim is set to neutral. AC on the APU.
Go over to the gate and we will we'll see how we did. We floated.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I think we were still legal though.
Please be seated until the seatbelt sign is turned off. We have to wait for instructions from the ATC. So next few minutes, we should continue taxi to our gate. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, that's my my deep, somber voice. A reassuring captain's voice. All right, taxi.
APU generators closed. Essential power on the APU.
That was easy. We got to come up with a different challenge. Maybe, you know what? I'll practice the DME arc, and we'll set up another approach somewhere. Not today, unfortunately, but we'll set up another flight in this thing with the doing more VOR stuff. Maybe even an NDB approach would be fun. I'm not getting any performance hits on this. So this scenery is actually seem pretty good.
Engine number 2 bleed open. APU bleed is open. APU generators closed. Galley power off. After landing checks complete.
Market brake is set. All right, we'll leave the engines on for the replay. But yes, welcome to Northern Manly. I can't wait to see that approach scenery. That looked good from the window, guys. That looked really good from the window. All right, let's see what we did here. It's bigger. 132. Ladies and gentlemen, 132. We floated the heck out of it, though. We really did. All right, let's view our card. All right, so perfect score on our VS. Gotta love that. I'll mark that down. So we buttered the 2.7. Let's just face it. This thing is hard to make a soft landing in. G-forces were good. We knew we floated, so 4 out of 15, but we were still legal because if we were outside the actual legal touchdown zone, this would have been 0 out of 15. Center line was good, a little off. What did we say here? I know it says somewhere where the center line was. And your crab was perfect. Bank angle was perfect. Pitch, so it was saying we're a little too high on our pitch. Pitch at 1.9? Listen, so I think the profile, they're guessing on this one. I think the profile, because 5 degrees. So I'm thinking maybe it was too shallow. Maybe that's what I'm getting hit on, because it's supposed to be a touchdown of 5-degree pitch. So maybe that's what I'm getting hit on. It was too shallow. So we landed kind of flat.
Experimental 792 contact tower on 118.65.
Landed kind of flat. So let's see, we can view. So kill this, and we can actually see. Do I have this window? All right, hang on a second, guys. Get this situated so you can see this. Yeah, I can't see it, so we'll bring it back up. All right. There we go. All right, so this is the 2D approach. So this is the touchdown zone. We can zoom it in here. This is the desired touchdown zone. So we can follow our airplane in. We came in there, but we definitely floated her. She was that's our touchdown point. This is, I believe, the end of the touchdown zone. So we were very, very legal. Just might have came in a little too flat. So we're going to see with our replay. Just how we looked. Close you. Let's get flaps out. It's on. Wait for the flaps to come out. Replay recorder up, and we'll check out that replay. I think that's what it was saying. I think we're a little flat. All right, let's bring it forward. And we were definitely high. We were definitely high. So that was an issue too, which then allowed, we were coming in a little too fast. Coming in a little too fast. So to arrest that descent, took a minute to slow us down. Oh yeah, we are way flat. You see that? We did a 3-point touchdown. That's why we got hit on that, guys. That is way too flat. No good. No good. You're too low, Cougar. Wave off. So everything was beautiful except for our flare. But that's why we have replays, guys, so we can improve that. So next time I know I got to pull a little back on it. Probably if I'd have flared more, we'd have came in. We'd have came down. We wouldn't have floated so much. So. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for the stream. Let's wind her back. All right, guys. Yep. I want to thank everybody that came along for the flight. All the likes, all the conversations. Drunk Billy, thanks for giving it a good old college try. Come along. I'm sorry to hear about your driver timeout. Hopefully a fresh install fixes all that. And a couple new faces in the chat. We had STN and G Cook from G Cook Scotland. Welcome aboard. Good to see you guys in the chat. Nice talking to yous. And hey, tomorrow's live stream, unfortunately, I had to cancel. Too much just came in. I just couldn't swing it. Couldn't fit it in. So unfortunately, I had to cancel tomorrow's live stream. But I will definitely see you guys next week with something. I don't know what we're doing. But yeah. On to the next one, guys. Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John. See ya.